What's good? Brian Tong here, and the new iPhone 13, 13 Pro, and iPad mini reviews, they are out. I have my own on my channel, but there's a lot of new information and some issues and maybe some things that you should know about that have come to light now, and even Apple has gone on the record to address them directly. So this is the, I don't know, let's call it the aftermath of the release and really what we've learned now, and it's in everyone's hands. And we're gonna start off with the iPhone 13 lineup. And one of the new features is the ProMotion display at 120 Hertz. It looks smooth when it's active. And in my review, I said it's a nice update, but not a game changer. Some people noticed right away that the ProMotion display looks good in some cases, but it's not always looking as smooth like butter because it's not active on all apps. So what gives? Well, according to Apple, they want developers to explicitly indicate that they want their apps to run at 120 Hertz, and they're gonna need to update them and resubmit them for approval. And I know you might be screaming, that's a bad apple.
Bad apple.
Oh, Dylan, that's my buddy, man. That's just so cute. Hey, do it again.
Bad apple.
I'm not even mad at that, but Apple's recommendation is for developers to use lower refresh rates whenever possible to save power, because the higher refresh rates result in what they describe as significant power consumption. So it's up to developers to unlock 120 Hertz support. Hey, good thing it's got a bigger battery, right guys? Yeah, but okay, then let's just say every key app that you use gets updated, or maybe a majority of them do. It's gonna be really interesting to see in another month or so if my battery life just isn't as good because everyone starts unlocking ProMotion, and the battery has just absolutely been the highlight of using the 13 Pro for me. So far, that's a good apple.
Yeah!
Okay, another thing stirring the pot for the iPhone 13 Pro after its release, unlocking it with your Apple Watch is currently broken on the iPhone 13. Bad apple!
Boo!
You know, I was wondering why it wasn't working for me. I kept trying to figure it out, and then I learned it's not me, it's you, Apple, because Apple has issued a support document and has identified an issue where Unlock with Apple Watch may not work with the iPhone 13 lineup. All I got was this message that says, unable to communicate with Apple Watch. I tried it with 2 Apple Watches, it didn't work, and that's a fundamental feature for me because we're still wearing masks in California, and we will for a while. Apple promised a fix, and they just seeded the second beta of iOS 15.1 to developers. The update includes the fix for the inability to unlock your phone with your watch, so it's coming soon. I'll just wait it out, but it also reminds me how much I use it every day, and I know there are people who cannot control themselves. I already typed away in the comments something about masks. I've already seen everything you could think of, and no, that is not a challenge, but I'm just gonna be patient about it. A fix is coming, but I use that feature every day. Well, I used to. So guess what? We're gonna have to deal with it. Oh no, my $300 Apple Watch can no longer unlock my $1,000 phone. I am so mad about this. The world is just so unfair to Apple users. Now, if you couldn't tell, the iPhone 13's display isn't just good, it's really good, and DisplayMate just awarded the iPhone 13 Pro Max display with the Best Smartphone Display Award, and it earned the company's highest display performance grade ever with an A+, and either set or matched 12 of its smartphone display performance records. It has the highest full screen brightness for a smartphone with an OLED display at 1000 nits with a peak brightness of 1200 nits for HDR content. Other records included the highest absolute color accuracy, highest contrast ratio, lowest screen reflectance, and others. And just so you know, Samsung is the supplier for the LTPO OLED panels Apple used in the iPhone 13 Pro Max and others. I just wanted to mention that for that person who always says in the comments, Samsung did it first. That's for you. All right, let's take a moment to thank the sponsor of this video, Avast. Avast is a global leader in cybersecurity for more than 30 years and trusted by over 435 million users. Avast's new all-in-one solution, Avast One, helps you take control of your safety and privacy online through a range of features. Now, you can learn more about Avast One at avast.com. It includes its award-winning antivirus that stops viruses and malware from harming your devices. Data breach monitoring enables you to find out if your online accounts have been compromised and whether your passwords need to be changed. Ransomware protection secures your personal photos, documents, and other files from being modified, deleted, or encrypted by ransomware attacks. And SmartScan finds and removes viruses and resolves the most common privacy and performance issues through an optimization scan. Now, getting set up with the Easy, and all I did was download the app and one click for the scan, and Avast One took care of the rest for me. Avast prevents over 1.5 billion attacks every month, and with Avast One, you can confidently take control of your online world without worrying about viruses, phishing attacks, ransomware, hacking attempts, and other cybercrimes. So learn more about Avast One at avast.com. All right, everybody, let's get back to the stories, and iFixit, they've always been known to tear apart these new iPhones just to give us a complete look inside, but also we learned some nuggets of information from it. It's believed that Apple is indeed using a touch integrated OLED panel that was reported by the rumors. So that combines the touch and OLED layers of the display together. So that cuts down on costs. It's thinner and it reduces the number of cables. The Face ID, the flood illuminator, and the dot projector, that's all part of it, have been merged together. And that's partly why the notch has been reduced in size overall, but it is a little deeper. As friend of the show, Ed Boon, has pointed out, the Face ID hardware is now independent of the display, but even though it's a separate piece, any third-party display replacements will disable Face ID. So that means if you go get your iPhone 13 or 13 Pro display repaired by places that are not authorized by Apple, your Face ID will no longer work. So just letting you know, your face will not work. All right, one of the highlights of the iPhone 13 lineup is easily its camera system. It's really one of the best on a smartphone. And yes, I still need more than a 3x zoom, but this is still a top tier camera system for stills and video. And if you haven't seen my review, Apple has said that the visual transition that changes between the wide and ultra wide lens, you kind of see it, it looks almost like a cross dissolve. As you get closer to an item, it will be an option that you can turn off in a setting that's going to come in a future software update. For some people, it was jarring and also prevented them from taking certain types of shots because of the automatic lens change. So I love that update because the camera system, this is just flat out impressive. And this stuff doesn't happen overnight. In an interview with British GQ, Apple's VP of camera hardware, Graham Townsend, he revealed that Apple starts planning future iPhone camera systems about 3 years in advance of it appearing on an iPhone for the public. So he says the sensor gets defined at that point and the A15 Bionic processor is also set. So if you do the math, that means that Apple's already maybe looking at the A18 right now or whatever they're calling it. I'm still bummed we never got an A1. That'd be a little tasty, but they were challenged with the new cinematic mode and incorporating the new ultra-wide lens for macro photography and video, and then just how that translates to a user in software. Now, cinematic mode, I talked about this in my review, but it does not use the LiDAR sensor at all for this first generation, but it's a combination of software-based machine learning and then the information from the wide and ultra-wide cameras to help calculate the depth between the subjects. This is not just portrait video because, look, I read the comments some of you people put in here. I even wonder, like, are you paying attention? But the focus can change between subjects. And then after the video has been recorded, you can edit and change who or what the focus goes to. I mean, this is ridiculous that we can do this with a phone. But I'm curious to see how often you're going to use this. I don't know how often I'm going to, but I'm also excited to see just how it continues to improve over time. All right, now let's jump over to the iPad Mini, right? The all-new one. What is the fuss around the all-new Mini? Well, some users are complaining about what people are describing as an issue they are calling jelly scrolling. Like, this is an effect that you can only see when you're scrolling vertically through text like a website. The lines of text appear to tilt down towards the left side of the screen as it passes by, as if one side of the display is responding faster than the other. So what's really happening is an effect called screen tearing due to a mismatch of refresh rates. It happens on older TVs when gaming, and I've been showing this to you a few times in slow motion because that is how easy it is to see. We have to show it to you in slow motion. Now, it isn't always noticeable. Some people see it, some people don't. Look, even I didn't notice it until the report came out, and even then, like, I had to really look closer to see the effect and say, okay, it is there, but I would not have noticed it if you didn't say anything. Would I have? Probably not. Now, it happens when the iPad Mini is in portrait mode, not landscape mode. Apple has come out on the record and told Ars Technica that it's normal behavior for an LCD display. The screen is designed to refresh line by line, and it can cause a delay between when the lines at the top of the screen and the bottom of the screen are refreshed. That gives you that jiggle effect, that jello effect. But the truth is that this effect has existed long before the iPad Mini, but some users are just saying that it's a lot more pronounced on the Mini. And I already hear you all saying, you're viewing it wrong. That's funny, I get that. But maybe you're screaming like, this is unacceptable. But for me, I also do think, like, I'm not even defending them. I think this is getting a little blown out of proportion because it's Apple. And if it really bothers you, there will not be any replacement or fix that's going to change it. I sometimes think people complaining are the ones not even buying the iPad. They just want to complain to complain. The iPad mini, it's still great. And again, I never saw it until it was brought up to me. And even at that, it doesn't even happen all the time. So go to the store if you want to. Check it out for yourself. Maybe Apple could offer some sort of software update in the future. I think that's a possibility. But modern TVs are able to handle this variable refresh rate and screen tearing. But I don't really think you should be too worried about this. And no, I did not buy a mini because I'm a big screen iPad guy. But I still love the device. Again, I never noticed it until people brought it up. And so that's why I don't think you guys should get all crazy about it. Not yet. And maybe we see some sort of a fix. But that's going to do it for this video. If you want to write in the comments that you think that I'm full of it, that, oh, Brian, you're such an Apple sheep or whatever, do whatever you want. I don't really care. But you know what I do care about? Hey, if you like what you see, give me that thumbs up, subs up, and hit that notification bell, ding, to get all my videos when they drop. And if you want more of that Apple goodness, you can check out my weekly Apple Bits XL audio podcast to get the latest deep dive with all these stories and new ones every week with special guests. Everybody, these are the things, kind of like the fallout, the aftermath of the reviews. You always find out new things, and maybe, you know, some of these things will help you decide whether you want to jump in and get these new products or not. But until next time, everybody, take care and be safe, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.